Hello, hello, everyone. No rest for the wicked. Vomit. We've got a pill. Either someone's being a pill, or they need to take a pill, or they're deciding which pill to take. Someone could be sick from taking a pill. They thought it was a great idea to medicate somebody, perhaps. We've got someone who's frustrated because they can't get into their passwords or their accounts. We've got the number 6, the family, beauty, harmony, high ideals, protection. Maybe they can't get into the accounts because this person's protected from all directions. But you can try again. In case you're new here, these are cards that I made. I added a few new ones again. I drew a couple of them. Slowly but surely, they're all getting set up. Hope everyone had a great day. I went back to one of the places that I had to visit on the 4th of July, and it just brought back the 4th of July to me all over again. It was just mayhem. It was in Newport Beach on 4th of July, and it was like mayhem. Okay. So as I was saying, these are all cards that I've made. They're all in different stages. Some of them just have a word on them. Some of them are completely colored in. And as you know, I don't like to see what the front card is. I don't want to have any idea or knowledge about what's up there. Someone had suggested to take like the third card back from the beginning, and I probably should just do that. I keep saying that, but bottom of the deck and the overall energy is the snail card. It is also the evidence trail. I have a huge connection to snails just because the many times that I have just been walking along and not paying attention to where my feet are going, and I have stepped on snails, and it's just like, I am so sorry. So it's like anytime I see a snail, I'm always thinking about, my gosh, you know, you stepped on snails, and I feel so bad. It's so sad. Reminds me also of when I was doing a delivery. This happened twice, actually, and there was a guy who, he must have heard me coming or something, and he came and removed the snails from the walkway as I was leaving because it had been raining. And he's done that twice. And I thanked him for it, just because it's like, who thinks about that? And it's so kind to know that someone is out there who cares about snails as much as I feel bad about when I step on a snail. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. We've got a hotel here, so there could be some kind of evidence at the hotel. Love me not. Someone with low self-esteem is what this really kind of means, because true love, real love, would never have you question. We've got fireworks. Maybe it was just fireworks for one person, and it's the one person who maybe is wondering if this person loves them or not, and doesn't even realize the fact that if they truly loved you, there would be no question about it. Could also be some kind of plan. It's an expensive plan. For the fireworks, I mean, they've got to plan it out. They got to choose which fireworks are going to set off. They've got to make sure that the fireworks are working, and it's quite a show, quite a production, right? So maybe someone did a huge production or made it seem like they were there for all the bells and whistles, but maybe, and they were trying to get someone to go to the hotel with them. Red Rover, send so-and-so right over. They were just trying to get someone to come on over. Trying to be romantic. I don't know. Let's see where we go. Assumptions. Please help homeless, need money to feed family. This card derived from an actual person who was out on the street panhandling, and he had a hoodie on, and he had his sign up over his face and only showing his eyes. It was just almost like he couldn't believe that he was in the position he was in, or he was embarrassed about having a sign and needing the money. We don't know what somebody's situation is, right? It's like just one situation can create the need to actually go out and ask people for money. You can miss 2 paychecks and then you're just completely screwed. You can't make ends meet because you are living paycheck to paycheck. And that goes for any level of wealth or poverty. I mean, it's just as easy if someone hasn't, planned for their future or has savings or something that they can cash out. And if they're more of the wealthy side, it's just as easy for them to lose it all if they come across a situation where they're left with nothing. So we don't want to make assumptions about somebody's situation or who they are just based on what it appears to be. A lot of times people think that if they give someone with a sign money, that they're just going to go use it for other means other than what the sign says. I mean, granted, there was a couple of ladies that I've seen in 2 different counties. One of the counties, I saw them probably about 5, 6, 7 years ago holding the same sign that they were holding currently in a different county. And it was about trying to raise money for a funeral for a child. And somehow these people just walked right past my car, didn't even look in my direction. And it's like almost like they knew that I knew who they were. Perhaps they read my thoughts, if that's even a thing. Perhaps they heard my thoughts, if that's even a thing. We've got a dollhouse here. It's just the word. I haven't made the picture yet. It would be a really easy picture to make, but it's a dollhouse. People are playing house. This is an unmarried couple. We've got the snail there, so I'm assuming it's 2 people and they're unmarried, and we were talking about the hotel and trying to bring someone over and the love me not and wondering, and it's like, quite romantic. But maybe someone's trying to figure out, how could I get this person to come over? Maybe they're making some kind of assumptions that they're going to live in this house together. And we've got a wealthy couple in the hills. This is a house in the hills. Interesting. The whole kit and caboodle. Maybe someone made assumptions about someone that they were seeing and thinking that, they just want to play house. They don't ever want to settle down and commit. They don't ever want to build some kind of legacy together. And I'm going to flip back to the other side. This person probably has everything that this one person or this individual wants in another person, but they have no idea how this person feels about them. Someone's reflecting on something. A sinkhole. The ground just dropped out from underneath someone. Sprung. Springtime. Distracted. All of a sudden, the floor just dropped out. We've got a castle. I mean, the house in the hills could be a castle, right? The grass is greener on the side that you, the grass is greener on the side that you choose to water. This individual has a sign on their grass and they're watering their grass. It says, please pick up after your dog. This person has boundaries. They have, you know, they maintain their grass. They nurture their grass. They water their grass. And this person on the other side completely neglects their grass. So the grass is greener on the side that you choose to water. You can't just neglect your side and then just think that you're going to go over to someone else's place and take over the green that they've already nurtured. That's unheard of. That's kind of like making the assumption that you're just going to move into somebody's house and take over the castle and not put any work in. We've got a mindset. This I had a hard time trying to name this card because it's about either strategizing or making decisions or moves in the moment of. Like, are you trying to control the situation and strategize and think how the other person's going to move and try to control the game? Or are you going to play the checkers where you're waiting for the person's other move and then you move your checker accordingly? I mean, I guess some people do strategize when they play checkers, but it's more heavily of a thought process, I would think, that when you're doing chess. You have to think. You have to maneuver. You have to plan. Even more so when you're playing the chess. I mean, you certainly can't play checkers and chess at the same time, right? People have to be on the same kind of thought process. You have to be on the same page. You have to know which game you're playing if you're going to be playing. Maybe someone thought that they were in it for the long haul, or maybe someone thought that someone was not in it for the long haul. Maybe someone assumed that someone just wanted to, I don't know. Someone's not listening to what everyone else is saying. They're going to go ahead and mind their own business, keep to themselves. Maybe someone assumed that someone wasn't the type of person to keep to themselves. Like they were maybe even out there like that. Now they're hearing or realizing that this person is not in the mindset of what was previously thought. We've got ruler coming out again. This is a CEO. This is making plans. This is taking measure. come sail away. Somebody needs a break. Put their feet in the sand. Someone's ship's coming in, even though that looks like a little dinghy. Maybe someone's realizing someone needs a break. Vacation, relax. That ship has sailed. Ship's coming in. The Christopher Cross story. They really thought Christopher Cross was wasn't going to make it as big as he did. He was the real underdog. The underdog that ended up making it big. Maybe someone was realizing that this is someone that they had a thought about, and they just put this person on hold or didn't even think twice about this person. And lo and behold, here they come out as being someone who resides in a castle and has a house in the hills. I mean, I guess it would be important if that's what was important to you. We've got yarn here, a creative situation, a loophole, knitting something together, yet another resource, network. Moments. A cabin. Could be a lodge. Maybe someone's thinking about some times or moments that they had in a cabin. Medlar, open arse, medieval fruits. The more rotten the fruit appears to be on the outside, the sweeter that it is on the inside. And that would go with the assumptions, right? Don't assume just because the fruit looks like it's all beaten up and overripe that it is actually just beaten up and overripe and it should be thrown away. That's actually the way it's supposed to be for you to have the best flavor. So maybe there's somebody who went through a lot of things in life, and maybe they appeared to be worthless. Next lifetime, all your stuff's in the box. Packed up, time to go. Everything you own is in the box to the left. You can try it again next lifetime. Maybe, it's over now. You got to give up on your dreams here with the carriage. Someone put the cart before the horse. It's like if you don't even know you have the horse yet, why are you going to fill up the carriage? Someone's stuck. The ruler is stuck. The plan is stuck. We've got a brush here. This is a scrub. Maybe they have to scrub the idea now. Maybe they got to clean up their ideals, their assumptions. Maybe they got to put some elbow grease into it. Body art. Wearing their heart on their sleeve. Their desires, their hopes. All on their sleeve. An expression of themselves. Maybe that's what they failed to do. Maybe they didn't express themselves wholeheartedly. Maybe they made no effort. This is trying again. Act 1, Scene 1. This would be people who are playing a role versus just being who they are. They're going to try to get it right this time. They're going to try again. We've got the hurdles, the obstacles, and the potato. I'm hearing, let's let bygones be bygones. Let's bury the hurdles. Mass production, clusters, down to earth, grounded, buried. It's the root of the issue. The root of the issue is you thought this person was worthless when they were actually at their best. Dimensions. This person was just living on a different dimension than you were, and you probably just didn't understand that dimension. They had dimension. They weren't just shallow and surface level. They had a lot more depth. Maybe they weren't into all of the worldly things and all the worldly pleasures. Maybe they were more into the spiritual, in the dimensional, the higher planes, with the wolf haircut. They probably saw you as a wolf, or had a sense that maybe you were a wolf, but they were just thinking that that was the actor. We've got the passport and travel. Could be someone from another continent. Maybe this person is getting scrubbed from the, I was going to say screen, scrubbed from the screen or the storyline. Shade. Protecting oneself, protecting their eyes, paparazzi, not wanting to be identified, noticed, trying to conceal themselves. They're from a whole nother place. We've got toilet tissue, trying to clean up again. Writings on the wall. Maybe wanting some privacy. The male seahorse took all of the girl's eggs, incubated them, and had control over when he was going to let those eggs go. Contentment, spiritual protection, comfort. Camp. Again, with being in isolation or solitude. Hanging with their people. Maybe someone is content to being alone. They're being spiritually protected from this male seahorse who could be impeding on somebody's privacy. They think that they're concealing their movements, but they're not. The world is your oyster. The blockage. This person wanted to block somebody's opportunities. Full of hot air. Maybe their attempts are full of hot air. Our center card is this next lifetime. It's like you can go ahead and try again next lifetime, but hopefully you've learned your lesson this lifetime so it doesn't have to be repeated next time. For Pete's sake, why would you want to repeat something that you did not do last time? Are you going to really let your ego get the best of you? Your pride, are you going to really let your pride get the best of you? To have to do it again the next lifetime? Are you going to allow your assumptions to rule your mindset into thinking someone is a certain way and actually block the many blessings that this person and you two together could have experienced together? I mean, imagine going on a hot air balloon and then seeing fireworks in the, in the distance, not close to the balloon, of course. Imagine the scene. We've got toilet tissue and sprung here in the corner. Springtime cleanup, writings on the wall. Like all of a sudden, are you realizing that the water's on the water's on the wall? Are you realizing that the writing is on the wall? It's over. Oh, here we've got waterfall coming out next, and then we've got the sun. It's like the erosion of the heavy feelings, the overwhelming feelings. Perhaps that feeling of being overwhelmed is what caused this situation to even have to be cleaned up. Got the number 7. Could have something to do with July. A snake shedding their skin. It could be 7 days. You could have been dealing with this person for 7 years, 7 months. Heck, let's even say the next 7 hours is something. I'm seeing the name Stephen. Spiritual fulfillment, the day of rest, perfection, life path number 7, spiritual knowledge. The 7th decade signifies the seeker, wisdom, introspection, philosopher, analyst, a search for hidden truths. Unity of the corners of the earth, working memory capacity. So we had the unity of the corners of the earth, and then we had all the 6 directions that came out in the pre-shuffle. Someone could be 67. Got facial hair. So this spiritual practice is probably growing in some regard. Someone's playing games or practicing the art. Maybe it's when you're spiritual, if you're leveling up spiritually, perhaps your information or your knowledge is also going to have to level up. So that's going to take practice. It's going to take more growth. The spiritual side of things is being illuminated to the point where it's growing, and it's obvious that it's growing. I mean, when you can't do a yo-yo and it just hits the floor, it's obvious that you need to probably practice or kind of figure out how to maneuver that new experience, right? There's very few people that can just take a yo-yo out of its package and just start yo-yoing. It takes effort and work, just like we were talking about the grass. You got to water and tend to your grass in order for it to be green. In order for it to grow, you have to tend to it. We've got our hermit crabs here. This is also my Cancer card. I don't think I have any other signs on the table. Just a PSA, we have to be mindful of our plastic, because even hermit crabs will pick up a plastic bottle cap and use it as their home. And of course, then the plastic leach into their bodies, and their most precious area with the organs are. Again with the sand, and then it kind of corresponds with the carriage that we had here that was also in the sand. Are you sidestepping the effort that it would take in order to make something grow? I mean, only you know that. We have the statue here, the pursuit of life, liberty, and justice for all. Could have something to do with New York, or it can also have something to do with Paris, France. Either the Cancer is from either of those places, or they're working with someone who is from either of those places. I don't know why I keep hearing someone didn't get the memo. But this is the outcome. Maybe someone's going to recognize the fact that emotions are a beautiful thing, right? But you have to keep them contained. Even a waterfall is somewhat contained through the erosion it's created. The waterfall makes its own way. It gets rid of the debris that's in its way, just like the toilet paper does. It cleans up the path, and there's an illumination of that. The number 7 also could be finances coming in, right? The 777, that's a slot machine. Everyone loves to hear that. A growth. So maybe someone can take more time to practice other skills, other creative projects. They can pursue other things, other gifts. This was a gift from France. Maybe someone's coming out of their shell in the gifts that they are practicing or maneuvering or working on or growing. Can't believe how late it's getting already. What is that? Time to celebrate. Not having a user in your life. Online. Someone's not an online user. No more options. Information. No information. No options. No information. Online. Someone's not able to find any information or options online anymore. Maybe someone's getting up in age where they can't. Maybe this person is realizing since that's the case, they're no longer able to use other people for their benefit. Straight up. Maybe someone's deciding to be straight up. Could have something to do with childhood. Maybe someone's known someone since their childhood. Maybe the person in their childhood is the one who's responsible for blocking somebody's opportunities in life because they were just telling their friends, everyone who was in their camp. They didn't know that someone was spiritually protected the way that they are. Now someone's realizing that all the ways that they were trying to block someone is going up in hot air. Because this person is spiritually protected. We've got the spiritual card here. We've got the spiritual protection here with the cat. In case you didn't know, cats are spiritual protectors. So if you're watching a reader and the cat comes up and jumps up on the table and comes between them and the camera, or it's just in front of them, it's usually because the cat is sensing some kind of spiritual activity going on towards the reader. And the cat is there to protect. So there could be someone who's been dealing with since childhood. I know that I have a few people that I've known since childhood that are possibly still bitter about things. It's like you can't help chemistry in what is ordained, right? And what is meant to be. If there's no chemistry there, there's no chemistry there. Don't take offense to it. If you're taking offense to it, then maybe you should consider why and heal those issues and grow from them. We have 12. When the clock strikes 12, tick, hickory dickory dock. Wow, that's I guess that would go with childhood. It's also a judge and jury. The jury of 12 people. Of course, there's 2 alternates. 12 is a perfect dozen. I mean, they say 10 is the perfect number, but I'd say 12 is, considering how often we use it. There's 12 months in a year, 12 numbers on a clock, even though we're supposed to, they say, have 13 months in a calendar, and we're also supposed to have 13 numbers on the clock, but they decided not to have 13. And then, of course, they deemed the number 13, like the 13th floor, as something that is just horrible and negative. when in all actuality it adds up to a 4, which is a foundation, security, structure, a foundation. Go figure. Whoopsie. I have food upside down and third party upside down in the box that I'm seeing. So don't eat the food, perhaps. There's no third party anymore. Maybe you didn't even know you were part of a third party. Isn't that something? And here you are getting accused or probably retaliated against, and you had no idea that the person was even a part of a relationship in the first place. We've got fate upside down. Yeah, this is a situation that it was like, maybe it was supposed to be fated, but someone ruined it. We've got lotus. You can find your peace. What is this? Oh, falconry. Birds that were used for war. That looks like a blank. We've got change upside down. That person's not going to change. Memories upside down. Work upside down. Work memories. They're not work memories. They're not going to do the work. Maybe they're living in the current time, like it's currently happening, and it's not something that had happened in the past. They're thinking that it's something current, but it's actually residue from a past experience and a past life. Eyes upright. You see what's going on online. And then we've got egg, a new beginning, a new opportunity. So you see a new opportunity coming. When you get your new opportunity, when you are receiving it, when it comes to you, just keep it to yourself. Because whoever this third party person is who thinks that you're part of a third party when you're not, when they made the assumption that someone was playing house with someone else when they weren't, I guess that's it. I'm looking for the camera to take the picture, but we're not even there yet. I'm like so ahead of myself. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm tired. All of a sudden I got tired. That happens often when I come on here. With that being said, folks, make it a great day. Take care. Rest well. Take care.